Welcome to Life Happens, where Texans come to protect their legacy and prepare for the second half of life. Join your host, attorney Kim Hegwood with Hegwood Law Group, and our weekly guest as we navigate the challenges that emerge as life happens. Now here's your host, Kim Hegwood.
Good morning. And so I'm Kim Hegwood with Life Happens, and I have a very special guest today. Mark Rush is a CPA, and he's my CPA, if that helps. And so we always want to make sure that we're giving good information. And so I asked Mark to come on today because a lot of changes have occurred in retirement. And so we're going to talk about that today for those of you that are entering retirement or thinking that, retirement, how it passes to, maybe to children and taxes and things like that. So we're going to try to make tax stuff as interesting as possible. Right, Mark?
Absolutely.
So probably the first thing that we talk to clients about, even with planning, is who are your beneficiaries? And do you have them correctly on your retirement plan? And so as a CPA point of view, how do you talk to clients about that?
Thanks for having me today, Kim. I appreciate the opportunity to be with you and always enjoy visiting with you. People don't, it's one of those things they do once and forget about it, forget about who they've signed up as designated as beneficiaries on a life insurance policy or a IRA account or our employer's pension account or a 401k. They put these documents away. Either they can't find them or they put them in the safe deposit box and forget about them, and they don't realize that they have impact. And we all desire to have the legacy that we leave and the assets that we may leave. We would like to be able to have those benefit the people that we want them to benefit. And many times, unfortunately, people may fail to even specify a beneficiary on some important document or some important account. And unfortunately, they leave it in somebody else's hands and to decide who gets that money.
Yeah, we find that a lot. And we talk to clients a lot about beneficiary designations because it makes it has everything to do with your plan. And so, most definitely. We also talk to them about contingent beneficiaries because you never know. And so always definitely something always good to have people to in place to make sure that, whatever your second choice is always good.
Sure.
And but let's talk about the Secure Act. And so, because a lot of people don't realize that the Secure Act changed how people get their retirement. Not necessarily those that are working for it right now, but their beneficiaries. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. The Secure Act became law back in 2019. But as we all know, there have been multiple tax and legislative actions that have come up that were probably more attention grabbing than what the Secure Act. And to be honest, a lot of people never even knew that it's not something that they were looking for, anticipating, and it happened, but it affects all of us. So yeah, it's the Secure Act. Secure is an acronym for supposed to be setting up community for an improved retirement impact. The government is always trying to come up with some acronym, but the purpose of the act was try to make it easier on people who have not been able to participate in an employer plan, to get them involved, to provide some incentive to employers to incorporate more people into their plans, and also to make it more affordable for small businesses to set up retirement plans. We all read the news that about half of the American public doesn't have adequate savings in retirement, and we all get that age a lot faster than we thought we were. I know I did. This is a topic that is personal to me. The older I get, the more I understand the impact of the time value of money and things like that. And people really, you get so involved in life and you forget how quickly life really passes until you're at these stages where hopefully you're prepared. But this Secure Act, while providing some many benefits, also restricts and took away some benefits. And one of those is on the beneficiaries of retirement plans. It previously sometimes was referred to the ability to stretch your IRA dollars, stretch IRA, meaning that if you passed while you were drawing money from your retirement account, after reaching a certain age, you're required to start drawing some money. And if you were drawing that money out and you passed, then that money could pass to an heir who you designated as beneficiary. And that beneficiary would have the benefit of being able to continue to withdraw money out of that account ratably over the remainder of their life. The person who set it up was taking it out according to their life expectancy. That benefit passed to the beneficiary. Under the Secure Act, though, if that person is not an eligible designated beneficiary, and there are only a few groups of people like spouses or disabled children or minors under the age 18, that they only have 10 years in which to take that money out. Now, they're not required to take it out in each of the year. They could wait till the end of the 10th year and take it all out. But all of that money is going to be forced out of those retirement accounts, and it's going to be subject to tax on the beneficiary's tax return, thus eroding some of the benefit of that account and some of the value of that account, because they're going to have to pay tax on it much sooner than what they had anticipated. And you think many of these people are still working age when their parents pass. My parents have passed, and I continue to work. And if I had received those benefits from my parents, I would have to stack that income from those retirement accounts on top of my income from my employment, making it subject to an even higher tax rate. So not only is more coming out, it may be taxed at a higher rate. So some thought and some planning needs to go into the process of, number one, who are the beneficiaries, and are they designated beneficiaries or a non-designated beneficiary, the ones that can participate in a longer distribution, or are they not? And perhaps the use of some trusts and some other things that some other tools that we have in the toolbox to help minimize the impact of that needs to be considered. But there are a number of things, but that's probably the biggest impact, because I believe Congress wanted to be able to pay for some of the other benefits that were provided in the act, and they're doing that by taxing this money sooner, and thus getting money into the Treasury sooner. So that's the biggie in this particular act.
That's what we found that affected a lot of our clients that had done planning, making sure their children got the stretch so it would last longer. It actually grows, over that time. So
Sure.
It actually would come out to be more money for the children down the road. And so in this, for the most part, we tell clients all the time, the middle class got hammered because we're the ones that, the middle class is what works and puts money in retirement, thinking that, I can live on that. And then, the rest of it's going to go to my kids for however long I want. And it's going to come out so fast and tax so high that, they're going to lose a lot of what their inheritance looks like. And so, and part of the Secure Act had to do with required minimum distributions, correct?
That's correct. And so, one of the another benefit that was in there is that they pushed the age that required minimum distributions are required to start to age 72. Now that's only a year and a half, age 70 and a half, but in today's market, a lot of value, and a lot of things can change, in a year and a half. So hopefully that would give people a little longer. People are living longer. That would give them a little more time to grow that retirement account tax deferred, and give them a chance. Also, another benefit is that they have eliminated the age 70 and a half as the stop point for contributions to retirement accounts. As you know, many of us are working longer and later into our life, and we would like to continue to contribute. I've got clients in their 80s, continuing to contribute to their retirement accounts. Maybe that's optimal thinking, that they may outlive their money, but anyway, people are living longer. So if you continue to work, I see a lot of people working part-time at various stores and what have you. They've even lowered the threshold for part-time employees being able to participate in retirement plans. So, hey, there's still hope. If you don't have enough money, maybe we could be a Walmart greeter or a greeter at Home Depot or something, and enjoy our retirement years, meet people, and still contribute to our plans. So.
I had that conversation with my mother, who was not enjoying retirement. She just retired and she's not enjoying it at all. And I'm like, I don't care what you do. Go be a Walmart greeter, whatever. Just get out of the house if it makes you feel better. And so
I've become a proponent that you need to retire to something, not just from something. You need to have a plan, and I think given enough time beforehand, if you give it some thought, there's some tweaks that you can do to make things a lot better for you.
Most definitely. And so what about 2021? Anything as far as required minimum distributions or things like that we can get away with in 2021?
Well, in 2020, many people took advantage of the change in one of the COVID acts of not having to take their required minimum distribution. They didn't need it, but because of the law requires people to take it, previously they were forced, so they got a buy year. 2021, the old rules go back into effect. The good thing about it, if you're not 72 and 21, then you get another year. You wait till 22. It's April 1st of the year following the year you turn 72. So my birthday's in July. For April 1st of the year next year, then I need to by that time I need to take a required minimum distribution. One thing I see in doing tax work, is that people think that, I'm stuck. I can't itemize. I can't get a deduction for my charity, as much for my charity. So I'm just not going to give as much to charity because I don't get the benefit of the tax write-off. Well, there's also ways through careful planning that you can still benefit the charity of your choice by doing what they call a qualified charitable distribution out of your retirement account. The money goes straight to the charity. You can instruct your plan trustee to donate that money straight to the charity out of your IRA or retirement account, and you don't have to report that as income on your tax return. So not reporting income is just like getting a deduction. Okay. So if you're supposed to get $10,000 and half of it goes to a charity, you get a 1099 for $5,000. So I'm not having to pay tax on that other $5,000. So it's just like a deduction. And, it doesn't matter whether I have other itemized deductions or anything. It's off the top. And I really like to see people taking advantage of that when they don't really have at a point in life where their mortgage is paid off. Perhaps their property taxes are not as high, and we have limitations on the amount of property taxes that can be deducted today anyway. So a qualified charitable distribution is a great way to get a deduction off the top and without having to itemize. So talk to your advisor or your tax planner.
We talk to clients a lot about that are in high income brackets that are having to take their required minimum distributions. Because I always laugh and tell them, I have lots of charities you can give it to and you don't have to pay taxes on it. So,
and it's really,
they don't need the income, so.
It's really important where people are on the threshold of, maybe they're not paying the full amount of tax on their Social Security. The more income you add to your tax return, the more of your Social Security becomes taxable. So the qualified charitable distribution is a way to reduce not only having to not report that, but it might impact and reduce the amount of the Social Security that's subject to tax. So, you never know when you squeeze a balloon sometimes where it might pop out on the other side. There are benefits other benefits that come from this type of deduction.
So I tell everybody they should have a good CPA. And so in having said that, would you tell people how they can find you?
They can find me just about any time of day. My email address, hopefully that will be distributed, mrush@hlb-cpa.com, or call my direct number. That comes straight to my office. You don't go to the receptionist. I'm not always at my desk, but I will call you back. So it's on the screen, 281-617-0274. And I am happy to talk with anybody. Many of my clients have my cell phone as well. I'm not going to provide that today, but you call me and we'll talk about it, because I do text message with people as well. You never know when somebody's going to pop up with a question, and if it's convenient, I'll respond. So.
Perfect. And so I just want to thank you for being here. It's good information. A lot of people are totally unaware about how the Secure Act impacted them.
Sure.
In regards to, leaving money to their children and things like that. And so, so I appreciate you being here today, and enjoy your weekend.
Okay. It's always good to see you. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of Life Happens with Kim Hegwood. Be sure to tune in every Thursday at 10 a.m. wherever you listen to your podcast as we navigate through the challenges that emerge as life happens. The content of this podcast does not establish an attorney-client relationship or constitute attorney-client privilege, legal, medical, financial, or any other professional advice.